Want to know what your dog is thinking?
Have a challenging dog behavior you need help with?
The Dish on Dogs is your source for all your canine questions.
Improve your relationship with your dog and deepen your understanding of your furry friend. Right here on the Dish on Dogs. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another exciting and informative episode of the Dish on Dogs. I'm your host, Mike Gould, affectionately known as the mayor of Hounds Town, USA, of course, home to the happiest dogs on earth. We're doing a nice brand new podcast here. I'm lucky to have a employee from one of our locations on Long Island, Farmingdale, New York, which happens to be one of the highest grossing, best functioning facilities, great reviews. And that's a tribute always to the employees that run it. So I'm joined today by Miah. She has been, so let me introduce her. Hi, I'm Miah.
Hi.
How are you? Look
Good.
at that big smile.
How
This
you
girl.
doing?
She lights up her room. Well, thanks for joining us today on the Dish on Dog. And what I just want to do is go back in time, ask you some questions, and you tell us about what your experiences are like. So I think we talked briefly before we came on. When did you start as an employee of Hounds Town?
June 24th, 2020.
Wow, you know that, right?
Yes, I do.
So again, if we think historically, June 24th was literally in the middle of COVID or at the early stages of it.
Yes.
Things were bad. What was life like for you before that, and what motivated you to work at Hounds Town? How did that even happen?
Life was strange. I was a school bus driver prior to this. So I drove kids. So definite field change there.
Right.
And I went through COVID. I was working not from home. I wasn't working.
I can't work from home as a bus driver.
I can't.
Right.
I wasn't working. Veronica, who is the manager over at Farmingdale, was a good friend of mine. So I asked her if they were hiring, and she told me yes. I came in for an interview, and I fell in love. And I think I was there for maybe 2 weeks, and I looked at Jen and Maria and said, "They're never getting rid of me." Wow. And so good luck to you guys if you ever want to, because you're not going to.
Well, that's really another inspirational story, because obviously, number one, you had a job that was no way you could be a bus driver working remotely.
Correct.
Was there opportunities for you for like unemployment or anything, or that really wasn't available to you?
There absolutely was. I could have. I didn't take the opportunity. I'm somebody who's hands-on. I like to be out. I like to be moving, doing things, earning, working, whatever I can do to be up and out. That's me. So.
Right. That's amazing. So that's another inspirational story, because as we sit here now, small businesses are struggling hard to get employees, and it's arguable whether it's because of unemployment or the extended benefits, but it's very hard to get employees at all. Now, how is it that Jen and Marie are found? Because you are kind of inspirational. You got this energy.
Oh, thanks.
No, seriously, and we talk about energy. I had one of your coworkers, Johannes, on.
Yes.
And he's like this ball of energy and like almost a similar story. So what's your background with dogs? Do you have any? Or
I grew up with dogs. My mom was a dog walker. I had dogs. I just love animals.
Right.
I'm just one of those people.
But the nice part is you don't have a lot of dog experience. And frankly, for those people that may or may not know, for Hounds Town, we don't really need people with dog experience. We just need good energy. So you definitely got good energy. Johanna's got good energy. But good energy alone doesn't get us through a day at Hounds Town.
Correct.
So, right. So so you met Jen, you met Maria. You knew Veronica.
Yes.
So what was your first couple of days experience like with them?
At work?
Yeah, at work. I want to hear
Crazy. I think I started right before 4th of July weekend, which in Hounds Town is madness, but the best kind. And I started during a COVID summer, so that doesn't even nearly compare what I heard to when it's not COVID. Right. So I'm preparing for this summer. But it's busy. It's a lot of work. Right. It's a lot of moving around. It's a lot of using your body.
Right.
but all in the best ways.
In the best ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Johannes was talking about, he starts work at 6. Do you work a particular shift or?
I work all kinds of shifts. I'll be there as early as 5:30 if we need to start early, or
Wow. How does that affect your personal life, though? Just to be a little nosy about that. That's
go for it. We're buddies. You
Yeah,
can
we
ask me
are.
anything you want.
That's-
It's hard. I am a mom. I'm a single mom.
Right.
I have a 7-year-old son. So it's tough, but work is
Doable.
work. If
Right.
if I was a nurse, I could be at work for 12 hours. So
That's
you
good. That's
you do
cool.
what you can for what you love, and I love my job.
All right. So I'm going to cry again. This will
No,
be the
please
third
don't.
time crying today. No, but this is moving to me, because some people that don't have this necessary energy like Miah does, or more, not forget the word energy, but she has a perspective on life. Not everybody has it. So, people could come moping in the door and be, slamming the door and not just, they don't have an appreciation for what they're doing, or they don't have they don't like what they're doing. So to hear 2 employees, now you're the second employee from Farmingdale that came in. So I don't know if they're drugging you. I don't know I don't know how this is, because you guys are truly inspirational to me. We didn't sit down and I didn't talk about this. I didn't tell you what to say, how to say it. And both Johannes and you and your coworkers that started about the same time are sharing this energy, again, not the energy, but the appreciation for what you're doing, despite the fact you may be able to, it's not the highest paying job you could get. I know that dog pet care just isn't. So yeah, it's moving to me. And again, I'm sure you have good days or bad days, right? So at life, unless you really are on drugs, life has its ups and downs, right? So what's a bad day? I asked Johannes what a good day was. What's a bad day for you?
I'm so happy you asked this question, because I talk to my mom about this all the time. What's a bad day for me? Maybe realizing I could have added extra details on the phone, or being corrected for something that I could have done a little bit better. But I tell my mom all the time, I'm like, Ma, I've been here for almost a year and I've had a lot of different jobs. I was like 12 years old. My parents were like, you got to get out and get a job. It wasn't even like legal, but I was working. So I've worked in dry cleaners, school bus. I've worked with special education. I've done a lot of things. And for being here almost a year, I can look back, and I've been reminiscing a little bit, because I just asked Maria too. I was like, what was my start date? I want like an anniversary for this. I can't look back and say that there's one day that I ever left work and said, I don't want to go back tomorrow, or I never want to step foot in there again. And it happens. Work pushes you to a point where you don't necessarily want to like go. And I've never woken up and not been able to get myself to work. And I've never left and told myself, this is not somewhere I want to be. No bad day could ever push me to the point where I can say I don't love my job.
All right, that's moving. That tells me one thing. You need a raise and a bonus, because this person and Johannes, they are paid professional spokespeople for Farmingdale and Hicksville. This is crazy. So, and I really mean this, that it just, whatever you do in life, you're bringing this to it. But to just, one of the things we talk about in dog behavior wise, and we should gravitate a little towards dog behavior, is 2 things dogs don't have that people have: free will and self-awareness. We talk about this all the time. If you think of your dog at home, they can't look in the mirror and be something else. The pit bull can't, or the poodle can't start lifting weights to be anything. They don't have self-awareness. Humans have it, but it's rarely exercised. So Miah is sitting here telling me she was an entry-level employee a year ago. She didn't invest $100,000 in a business. She took a job when she didn't have to. She has a son at home. She could have been on unemployment probably for a year and a half, frankly, making more than she's making, maybe. I don't know the details of that, maybe. But she didn't want to do that because she has this work ethic that started when she was slave labor. Her parents threw her out of the house and make her work at 12. That's a sad story. But here she is. And she goes home after a day's work, and I know exactly what she's saying. And any of you that take your job serious, us franchisees and workers, we had a phone call, we did something, we did a temperament test, we did something, and maybe we made a mistake. Guess what? We make mistakes. We're human. Humans make mistakes. The question is, do you acknowledge it and make change things a little bit. So everything you said is really moving to me. To go home and talk to your mom about this, it's great. I mean, it's really, like I say, for me as the founder, the owner, whatever they call me these days, it's touching that the franchisees can harness human energy and say all the right things unscripted. Johannes was here and he told me basically how the business is run. So, there's a secret sauce in Farmingdale that's happening.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're in our system. Johannes kind of expressed the desire to want to do dog training. What's your goal? Like if you're here a year later, you're celebrating your anniversary.
Yes.
What does life look like, near term, long term?
Near term, long term, my future is green and blue. I'm not going anywhere. I'm in grooming school. I'll start the second semester very soon. I just finished the first semester with a 95, so I'm super excited. And I would love to learn about dog behavior. Any opportunity that I get to learn or do something that I haven't done or do something that I've done and do it better, I always take it. Always, 100%. And this is somewhere that I see myself for a really, really long time, if not for the rest of my time. And
right, that's awesome. I mean, really, it's awesome. Like I said, she's not getting paid for this. It sounds like a paid commercial. And what I tell in every episode, when I find this force of nature, that's what I consider you, a force of nature. You might not consider that yourself, because sometimes when people are that, they don't really think they're doing anything special.
Yeah.
So you might be sitting here and saying, there's nothing great. I come to work. I have a son, and I work. So what's so spectacular about me? But I can tell you, dealing with all the different humans that I interact with, you are a force of nature coming here with the confidence to be able to articulate what we do at Hounds Town, our brand. And it's kind of crazy. And Maria, the secret is, I think, Maria and Jen realized that you and Johannes and Veronica, you're the backbone of their business. They couldn't do this without you. So when I see employees, I want to let them know it's not just here you are, here's a mop and pooper scooper. You need opportunity. You need to follow your journey, and it shouldn't be stumbling blocks. You should be, to some level, be allowed to pursue just wherever life takes you. One of the sayings is if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, because our plans, especially long-term plans, never really come to fruition. And if I would have asked you started working in June. If I asked you in January of last year, what do you think you'd be working at a doggy daycare? You probably would have looked at me and said, I'm insane. That's not in the cards for you. That's not even on your life plan, working in doggy daycare. So I always try to encourage people to think of that way, like see opportunity, seek it out, and kind of it's like a river flowing. If something gets in your way, you go the other way and you go around it. So yeah, I think this was a spectacular. I'm so glad you're here for training. What do you think of the training so far?
Lovely. This is the second time I've come and gotten the opportunity to learn some things from you, and every time I come, I learn something. And every time they tell me I'm coming back, I can't wait. I mark it on my calendar. It's like a date.
What's the most? So like I said, right now we're involved with franchise training, meaning new franchisees are here. They really don't know anything about anything. You obviously have experience. What's the best or worst part of what we're doing here? Your experience here today. What do you like best?
The best part of today was, oh man, you're gonna have me go through the whole day.
What do you appreciate? Some people are visual learners. I'm a visual learner. If I don't have a dog, I get nervous. So when you see me talking in front of everybody, and I'm really very uncomfortable. It might not appear that way, but I'm very uncomfortable, and I'm anxious till a dog comes in the room, and I'm like, let's get a dog in
All right,
here.
well then I have an answer for you. The best part is you, the way you teach. It's very, you're just you. You're not too, uptight, and you're you. Right. And you make people comfortable because you're you. You're a little awkward and stuff, but people like that. Right. So
no, but that's true.
Yeah.
And that's the secret sauce, right? Be you. Right. Other thing, but that segues. We talked about self-awareness that we have. We talked about free will, so you don't have to be here. You're not a hostage. It might seem like she's like a Korean hostage that we're making her say things about Hounds Town, but she's not. She's here. She's got this. She complimented me about being me. She's her. So again, self-awareness is the key. The other thing that dogs are, and they can't be anything else, and you kind of alluded to it, that they're their real authentic selves. They're authentic. So you kind of gave me a little bit of a compliment saying, I'm just you, for better or worse. You said awkward.
That was 100% a compliment.
I don't know what the awkward part was.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that off the... No, but so she said, I'm just being me, and she's being her. Johannes was kind of being him. So dogs are always that way. That's why they can't be anything else. They're not reading self-help books. They're not taking lessons in public speaking. They are who they are every second of day. Absolutely authentic. This has been really a great, great episode for me. And I think it's going to be one, honestly, it's going to be one of the better ones because it wasn't contrived. It was like, let's sit down and talk. Wasn't talking points. And so I'm totally, I really like this. And it is touching to me. It's moving. So thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having
You are
me.
a great representative of Hounds Town. And that's really good for me and good for everybody. We're going to wrap this up. Hopefully we're going to have you back maybe in a couple of months to see where your journey takes you.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching another exciting episode of the Dish on Dogs podcast. You can catch us every Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time right here on Facebook Live. You can also watch us on YouTube on the Dish on Dogs podcast. If you're a listener, you can catch us on iTunes, Spotify, and all your other podcast platforms. For more information, click the link in the description. We'll see everybody next time.